In the ever-evolving world of mobile apps, every so often something appears that promises to change the game. A shortcut to easy money or a clever life hack. That was Neon. It wasn't just another app, it was a phenomenon that seemed to offer something for nothing, and people couldn't help but take notice. Just last week, Neon shot into the top 5 free iPhone apps, outpacing even some of the most established names in the App Store. Its meteoric rise was impossible to ignore. The pitch was simple, yet audacious. Let us record your phone calls, and in return, we'll pay you cash. No complicated tasks, no surveys, just talk as you normally would. The idea was irresistible. Get paid for your everyday conversations with no extra effort required. For many, it sounded like the ultimate win-win. Neon claimed it would sell your call audio to AI companies desperate for real-world data, fueling the next generation of voice technology and artificial intelligence. Users rushed in. 75,000 downloads in a single day. The app spread like wildfire as word of mouth and social media buzzed with excitement about this new way to earn. It felt like a digital gold rush, with everyone eager to stake their claim and cash in on the latest tech craze. The promise was clear: passive income for doing what you already do every day. No special skills, no extra time, just effortless earnings. Neon made users feel like partners in a bold new venture, not just anonymous data sources. It was a fresh approach that made people feel valued and included. But as with anything that sounds too good to be true, there was a catch lurking beneath the surface. The excitement was real, but so were the risks. The real story wasn't buried in fine print, it was a disaster waiting to happen, hiding in plain sight for anyone willing to look closer. While users dreamed of easy money and effortless rewards, their privacy was about to be shattered in ways they never expected. Neon was marketed as a simple way to earn extra cash. Just download the app, record your outgoing calls, and get paid for sharing your voice data. It sounded easy, almost too good to be true. The app only captured your side of the conversation, but that was more than enough to create a detailed, sensitive archive of your daily life. Your thoughts, your routines, your secrets. The problem? Neon's security was almost non-existent. There were barely any safeguards in place to protect the data users trusted it with. Any logged-in user could browse and access anyone else's recordings and information. No hacking skills or special tools required, just a few clicks. Full phone numbers, call times, durations, even the raw audio files and written transcripts. Everything was left exposed, ready for anyone to see or steal. It was like a bank leaving its vault wide open, handing out everyone's money to whoever happened to walk in. The sense of security was an illusion. Every call, to your doctor, your lawyer, your partner, or your boss, was potentially public, no matter how private or sensitive the conversation. Some users even used Neon to secretly record in-person conversations, turning the app into a tool for covert surveillance. The app that promised to pay you for your data instead put a price tag on your privacy, trading your most personal moments for a few dollars. For anyone who used Neon, the real cost wasn't just a few cents, it was total exposure, and the loss of control over your own story. In the end, it was a privacy apocalypse, an irreversible leak, all for a handful of bucks and a promise that was never kept. So, who found this mess? Not hackers, but TechCrunch journalists. Using a basic tool called Burp Suite, they watched the app's data traffic. They discovered you could simply tweak a request and get anyone's data, no verification at all. It was a textbook security failure. TechCrunch alerted Neon's founder, Alex Kiam, on September 25th. The response? Neon was pulled offline immediately. Users were left with a dead app and no answers. Instead of transparency, Neon sent an email blaming rapid growth and promising more security. No mention of the massive breach, no apology. It was a masterclass in downplaying disaster. The founder's response? Evasion. Instead of a direct apology or a clear explanation, we got a carefully worded statement that sidestepped the real issue. There was no real ownership of the mistake, just vague language and a promise to do better. The shutdown was framed as a proactive move, as if Neon was acting out of an abundance of caution. But this narrative ignored the reality that user data had been wide open for who knows how long, and that the company only acted after being exposed. This lack of transparency destroyed any remaining trust. Users were left in the dark with no clear answers about what had happened or what was being done to protect them. Did Neon ever do a security audit? It seems unlikely given the scale of the oversight. If they did, the results were never shared, and the silence only raises more questions. Was this reckless ambition, simple incompetence, or both? The company's rapid growth may have come at the expense of basic security, leaving users to pay the price. Worse, did anyone else find the flaw before TechCrunch? We may never know if malicious actors accessed the data first, or if the breach was quietly exploited before it was made public. Neon hasn't said if they can even check for unauthorized access. There's been no word on whether logs exist, or if any investigation is underway to determine the true scope of the breach. Investors and app stores have stayed silent too. No statements, no warnings, and no accountability from the platforms that helped Neon grow. The chain of failure, from developer to platform, left users exposed at every step. Each link in the chain failed to protect the people who trusted them. Neon's silence leaves 75,000 people wondering if their private calls are now in the wild, with no reassurance or answers in sight. The questions keep piling up, but the company's response remains a void. The Neon saga proves app security isn't just for techies, it affects everyone. We trust apps with our most personal data, expecting companies to protect it. When that trust is broken, the consequences are real. The lesson: be skeptical of apps offering easy money for your data. Check who's behind the app before you download. For developers, security must come first, not as an afterthought. Cutting corners can destroy your company overnight. App stores need tougher reviews, and founders must be held accountable. Our privacy isn't a commodity, it's a right. Demand better before the next Neon comes along.